Okay, I've been working on developing a video game. I've been working on this constantly for every day, all day, almost. Um, Never been to school for this or anything, kind of learning this all on my own. But this is what I've got so far after all this long time. So, I've got little guy here. This is the character creation scene where you get to customize your player, but I'm also using this to get some of the basic functions of the game down, such as items and inventory. But I'll just go through this one aspect at a time. On the left side you can see all of the vitals, life, energy, vitality, endurance, and so on. And these are all the stats that you'll be using in the game that'll influence the normal things that are influenced by these particular stats in the game. And if you're not sure what those are when you're making it, you can click the question mark and it comes up with a description of what the stat does. So for example, endurance increases your energy, which is up here, is now 25 right now. So if I increase my endurance, you'll see my energy go up to 30. And it'll regenerate from its previous value. So if I just keep doing that, it'll start regenerating. And regeneration speed is based on the regeneration stat. So if I up this quite a bit, and then raise the endurance, you'll see it update much quicker than it used to. You won't start off with 1,000 points. At the top you can see points left. It's 957 now, but you start with 1,000. You'll start with 15 in the actual game. The 1,000 is just for me to make sure everything works. And over here on the right side you have appearance. And what the appearance does is change the colors of the materials on your character. So right now I have the default style. I'll pick something like Coolio, and it'll change his skin accordingly. Lots of different styles built into the game that I've done here. But one of the coolest things about this is you can go from built-in styles to create your own style, and you have complete control of every material on the character. So to change the body color, you can influence the red, green, and blue values, which are the colors required in art and so forth to make certain colors. So if I take the red value down, you'll see them start to get more green. And it's because the green's all the way up here. You can make it black. You just play around with these little sliders and you can make a pretty cool color. You got body, mouth, and chest and legs, and or chest and feet, hands, pupils, almost everything on actually everything on the character can be changed. But if you make something you like, you can save it and you put in a name. We'll call this video test style, and you'll save it. And when you go back to built-in styles, your style's there. In this case it's video test style. So we change it to here and we go look at the video test style. It's what you just created, which is pretty cool. It offers a lot of customization for your character. And I've also built a camera control script, which if you play games, it's hard to appreciate the work that goes into actually making a camera control system. It's actually a lot of work that me, being a gamer, and anybody else that's watching this that is a gamer, knows that it seems like it should be a simple thing to do because it's fundamental in most games, but it's actually pretty complex. So if you hold your right mouse button down and move the mouse, you can rotate the camera around your character. You can zoom in and out by using the scroll wheel. This gives you, or can give you, a good view of your surroundings. So that's that. And I've also have a fully functional movement system and all the animations that go into it. So if you press W, ASD, you know, the normal keys you would use to move on a PC, you can move your character around. And when I first started, all I could do was make a cup, and eventually I was able to make this guy, and I learned how to model him, make him look the way he does, and then I learned how to put bones on him, and then I learned how to make him move, or animate him. And then I take all that and I put it into code so I can actually make a game out of it. So pressing W does this, and D, A, S. You can move. If you're running and you hold down shift, you'll sprint like this. And it takes energy. If you look up there, you see my energy going down. When you stand still, the energy fills back up. If you just hold shift, he goes into a little frog stance little thing, and it fills up a lot quicker because it's the natural state of this particular character, where he feels more at home, I guess. And if you press space, you can jump. And that is my voice acting there. Don't know if you can hear it. If you run, you jump a little higher and a little faster. If you sprint, you do what I like to call a burst jump, which is this. And let me go ahead and raise my endurance to get a lot more energy to kind of show you how this system works. And then I'll increase the regeneration so I fill up a little quicker and don't have to wait on it. And then if I squat down, it fills up really fast. So just take this up a little more. Okay. Now, when I start running, the energy depletes. And you notice I have a stat called speed. If I increase the speed, I start running faster. And faster and faster and faster and faster. If I increase the... well, now you notice if I jump, I just launch myself across the ground there because I have a lot of speed. If I increase my strength, this influences how high you can jump. So if I do it to about 40, jump really high. So that's how that system works there. So the higher your speed, the faster you go, the higher your strength, the higher you jump. And when I ever get around to actually making levels for this, that'll be, I'll incorporate things that utilize these attributes and what they do. And I've also made the beginning of an inventory system. So see on the ground here, I've modeled some weapons. If you go over to them and you put your mouse over them, they highlight. I know you can't see my mouse on this video, but if you put your mouse over it, it'll highlight yellow. If you click it, you'll pick it up. That's a little rough animation, but it gets the idea across. And you press I to open your inventory, and you'll see that the sword you picked up's in there. It's very rough. All I've done right now is make sure it works. I haven't worked on making it pretty or anything like that. So if I go to this next one and I pick it up, it'll appear inside the inventory. And if I click on one of these, it'll be equipped, so to speak. And there it is on his back. And it follows him around. If you press F now with the weapon equipped, you can unsheath it. Press F again to put it back. In a lot of games you can only do one thing at a time, like if you're jumping, you can only be jumping. But in my game, you can do lots of other things. So if I jump, I can also unsheath it. Or put it back. And I haven't made an attack combo system yet, but it's on the list of things to do. So you can go to your inventory, you can pick a different one, and it appears there, and it works the same. There'll be different move sets for all the weapons. I'll have to animate the character, but this is what I've got right now. And one thing I just made today, kind of like a, since he's a frog, you know, he's got a long tongue, and let me zoom out here. You see I put a little square up there in the sky, and the square is actually littering the sky, if you can see that. If you press Q, this is a system I just made today. If you're running or whatever, you press Q, time will slow down. and later on it'll take energy, but for now it's just making sure it works. Time will slow down, and what you can click on something, and whatever you click on becomes your target. When you let go, his tongue will lash out and grab that object and pull himself to it. So now I've clicked this box, and I'm going to let go of Q. And there I go. So that'll also work with enemies and things. Say I want to get... There's a box up there. So I'm going to go into slow-mo. I move around just to show you the slow motion works. So just moving, and I'm going to press Q. You see I go into slow motion. And I'll click this box. And when I let go, now I'm up in the air, I'll go into slow motion again, move around, there's a box. There's boxes all over the sky. And I'll click this one, and whee! All I've got left to do really with this system is to make a tongue actually come out and wrap around the object. But the basic functionality of it's working. And with this you can do latch between objects and get to places you wouldn't normally be able to get to. And you can do all that. So that's pretty cool. That's what I've been working on. And that's about the extent of what I have, and it's taken me forever to do this. Most of it was learning. And now that I've got most of it down and I know a lot of how to do it, the rest of the game will come along pretty quickly. For this tongue grabbing system, there will also be a distance limit. Right now it doesn't have a distance limit, so you can grab anything you want to, no matter how far away it is, and just launch yourself to it. But there will be distance, and I'll put a stat in that'll raise that distance, and it'll also raise the amount of time you can slow motion and the amount the time slows down, so you can do this. And later on I'll have enemies, so maybe there's a bird, slow down time, or a flying enemy. You slow down time, click on it, latch onto it, and launch yourself to it. And I'll probably put in some kind of functionality where if it's an enemy and you fly to it with the tongue lash, you can attack it automatically, just kind of ram into it and knock it out of the sky, and then subsequently go into slow motion again and target any other flying enemies and just kind of do that. So that little tongue system is what I was working on today, and I got it done in a day, so that's pretty neat in my opinion. And that's what I've got so far. Alright, I just wanted to show you what I've been working on. Thanks for watching.